The wrong analysis of Iranian power has hit the United States very hard in the war zone. Recently, according to the Iranian media, seven fighter jets of the United States of America have been shot down. Now, according to the United States of America, one fighter jet have been shot down, and there were two pilots in it. One has gone missing, and another have been rescued. Iranian authorities have also claimed that they have captured uh, the the personals of the United States of America. United States mentioned that the missiles that the United States that Iran is having the capability of firing just at a range of 2,000 kilometers. But recently, when Iran hit the Diego Garcia, an island in the Indian Ocean, that was 4,000 kilometers away from Iran. It means Iran is having the capability to hit the United Kingdom, the Europe, the entire European region. And that was the reason why all these countries, including Spain, Italy, France, United Kingdom, they denied the United States of America to do any kind of involvement in the war and not do and to tell them to go out of our countries because we are having significant threats from the side of Iran. So the power was far more. Now, according to the U.S. estimates, Iran is having 3,000 ballistic missiles total, and some short-range missiles, 1,500, and some other medium-range and medium-range missiles, which are like 3 to 500. But let me tell you, United States of America has hit 15,000 targets inside the Iran, and many of those targets include the missile sites. And in one missile range that Iran is having, there are hundreds of missiles that Iranian authorities have stored. It means that whatever is being told to us is a kind of wrong analysis of the true power of Iranian forces. Now, you must know that Iran is having 650,000 active military officials and 350,000 reserved. Now, those forces which are in the nearby regions, such as the Iraqi militias, 100,000 personnel, such as the Hezbollah, 50,000 personnel, the Hamas, and all the groups in the nearby regions, they are in the strong support of Iran, and Iran has continuously supplied them with missiles, with other things, with the passage of time. Now, the drones which were being used in the Ukraine and Russian war, those drones have also been copied from the Iranian drones, which are way more cheaper. And if Iran, being a country in war, is having a lot of money, a lot of intellect, and ability to produce cheap drones, then it isn't having 5,000 or 3,000 drones. According to the analysis of the foreign countries, foreign intelligences, this is what they are having, but that is 100% wrong. Now, the naval forces that the United States, that the Iran is having at this point, it has got 50,000 naval officials, which means they have got full ability to control the Strait of Hormuz, and that is the reason why Strait of Hormuz is nowadays under their control. People, the different countries are getting their permit to be allowed to go through that region, and otherwise, those ships are being captured and taken away by the Iranian authorities, and the people are also captured, and they also face significant risk and struggles of imprisonment. That is the thing. Now, the naval ships definitely, which were being told to us 20, but this isn't capable, and the vessels or around about it, they were told to us, right? But they are far more than it, 3 to 500 boats, right? And the other ships that they are having are also like 5 to 600, but they weren't mentioned earlier. Now, we were never told that Iran is having the capability of chemical weapons. They are having the capability of firing straight the biological weapons, or by using the biological weapons, producing different kind of diseases. So now recently, you know that 2 to 3,000 new units have been deployed. New personals in the naval units have been deployed to this region. 2 to 3,000 naval officials have been deployed. But when you see here, you'll come to know that even if they are able to enter those islands nearby the Iran, by capturing those islands, they can have a try to open the Strait of Hormuz. But even if they enter those islands, and in case if Iran hits it with a kind of weapon, with a chemical weapon, or most probably with a biological weapon by using some kind of drone technology or some other technology, all the officials, they're gonna die really seriously. And the death with those kind of diseases, that is like far more worse. Now, talking about the cyber capability of Iran, you know that about Iran, that its cyber capability is far more, because previously, when President Trump was going through his presidential campaign, in that case we saw that Iranian were able to hack the data of the Trump, because they weren't in the favor of the President Trump to become the president of the United States. And those were the things being mentioned by the security forces, were being told to the presidential candidate Trump at that time. And he mentioned it to the media that this is what happened. And later on he was shot, but he was able to survive because the bullet went just by touching his ear. And this is what happened at that time. Now the thing is that if Iran is that much powerful, and if it and you know that it has got 10,000, more than 10,000 cyber, you can say, hackers and attackers, and those who are having the capability to do active surveillance, and these are the active officials. They can clearly check out everything, whatever is going on around the world, by using their cyber capabilities. And they are considered top 10 to 15% of the top officials of the world. You can imagine that how powerful their cyber capability is. And even after hitting more than 15,000 targets, as President Trump mentioned earlier, still they are able to hit the fighter jets of the United States of America, and still they are able to close the Strait of Hormuz. The entire Gulf country is against it. Even before the start of the World Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and Iran, they have continuously involved in the clashes since the past decades, but still they aren't even able to do anything against the Iran. And they rather preferred going with the Turkey, Pakistan, Egypt to the Iranian authorities, and for suggesting some kind of alternative to their oil to be passed away from these regions, from the region of the Strait of Hormuz, from the Persian Gulf to the Strait of Hormuz, to directly going to the Oman, Gulf of Oman, back to the Indian Ocean, and then to be supplied to the world. Now, the thing is that the capability that Iran is having is evident from the things that we have seen. There is no doubt that US has tried its best to give a significant blow to the power of Iran. And we would have listened the announcement of nuclear bombs being tested by the Iran, but it seems like those announcements have been delayed with the blasts from the side of with the attacks from the side of United States of America. But there is one more thing that I need to mention at this point, is that there have been also observed a significant earthquake in the Iran, and recently also in the Iran and in the nearby regions, also including the neighbor of Iran, Pakistan. According to some of the experts, they have also mentioned that it can be a deep underground nuclear blast, which Iranian authorities would have tested. But we aren't having any proper, you can say, evidences for these things, because the United States, which is the topmost rivalry of the Iran, they haven't mentioned anything. Now there is one more thing. One of the report, it also says that recently some of the officials, one or two or a bit more than that, of the United States of America were captured by the Iranian authorities, and by the Iranian locals. They first went into their hand and they were treated fairly, and for which the Western media was also giving praise. But I'm not sure if that thing is true or not. Now this is what's happening recently, and the failure in the form of information that were provided to the government, because of which they sent the air force and did their attack in those regions. And later on, a retired general mentioned that Iranian forces, they are deployed in a way so if the F-15 goes, it can easily be detected and can be fired. So U.S. was supposed to send those aircraft, those fighter jets, which were more stealth, so those couldn't be detected easily. And that's like one of the things. And I think so, lack of providence of proper information to the government is one of the major reasons why the military chief and the other generals have been recently taken out of their seats. They have been asked to go for immediate retirement. They have gone through those kind of stuff, and new officials have been announced to take part and play the role in the recent war. Now the United States military officials, they are also considering to go for ground invasion because of a significant cost that comes when you go for the war in the Middle East with an air war rather than going for a naval and a ground war. So that is another significant and an important thing. But how successful will they be with such a small force of 3 to 5,000, while on the other hand we are having 100,000 in total when you combine all the reserves and the other the active military and all the nearby groups of the like 1 million force. It's a 1 million force. How can you fight them up? So what's going to be the possible end of it, I'm going to tell you. So the best end that can be possible for the United States is just to do a kind of agreement with Iran. They are nowadays weak, so there can be a favorable agreement with the help of the Saudi Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Turkey, and Egypt as well, because those are the Muslim neighbors. Iran is going to give an ear to them, and definitely there can be something, because the whole world is disturbed. Malaysia was able to do the deal with Iran, and they were able to get the vessels out from the Strait of Hormuz because they have got the permit. Now Iranian are giving the permit to the world to take the oil. Otherwise, have double or triple prices of the oil in your country, and otherwise have your country being stopped, because everything is dependent on the oil. Now, in case because the United Kingdom, it's also interested in doing the negotiation with Iran so as to get the oil out, because the prices have significantly increased all around the world. All the public are complaining, and when the prices got increased in Pakistani people also started doing the protest. So the people, they're never gonna compromise on these things. They're definitely gonna go for the protest. Even in the United States, there is significant risk that the people can go for the protests, and that is, I think, so one of the reason why the Secretary of Homeland Security was recently fired, and because she announced the terrorism act of an innocent person inside the country, but that wasn't a good way of dealing with that. They need somebody as a Secretary for Homeland Security who would be able to control inside the country, who would be able to stop the protests, who will be able to have control over the immigrants without posing any kind of challenges to the government, so that the government will be able to complete their term peacefully and will be able to go through these tough times. There is no doubt that the war inside the Middle East has given a tough time to the United States of America and the Israel, which has been never mentioned in these regions. But according to the professionals, the professional critics, and the professional journalists of the United States of America, they have clearly mentioned that it is Israel who has entered the United States of America in the war and has taken side, and they want the United States to use their funds to go through the direct employment and to directly deploy their forces in the Middle East, and they want them to engage in the war so that Iran, their enemy, will be weakened, and they would be able to continue their expansion easily and without putting much efforts. This is what, and they would be able to strengthen their country because they have got weakened due to a huge war cost that they have faced because of Hamas and because of the other nearby regions, because also because of the Iran. It also did a lot of strikes inside the Israel. So overall, I would end it with this. Histories are evident. Those countries which have ever got any kind of involvement in the war, they have always got serious challenges. They have always faced a decline. They have always faced, even Pakistan, you can see, you have a great example. You have a great example of Germany. You have a great example of other countries. You have a great example of a Great Britain. What Britain did, it wasn't even able to hold up those long territories. Once it did the expansion, once it did the intervention in the worldly affairs, it lost its power. Now its GDP is no more than $4 or $5 billion, and the United States GDP is way more above than it. So, I mean, $4 or $5 trillion, no, not billion, sorry. So the thing is that now what we need to see is, from the history, we need to have our lessons. We need to decrease our foreign interventions. We need to increase the peace like Japan. We need to increase focusing on the technology like China, because China is nowadays going on the peak. Russia is going toward the peak, and North Korea is also working a lot on these kind of things. They're gonna go for away from the United States, and in the future, the new superpower, definitely United States, by involving in the Iran war, is giving a pure chance to the China to become the new superpower of the world. As you know, the China, it has got the highest industrial base in the world. It has got highest production rate. It has got the cheapest prices, and that is one of the reason why even Elon Musk decreased the prices of the cars inside China, because of the tough competition, because of the cheapest prices. So if we continue, it can be a talk of hours, but let's end it here. That great nations, they deal with balance. They don't go for foreign wars. They improve their industrial base. They improve the healthcare. They improve the proper education service for the countries. They improve the government, who are capable of winning the hearts of their people. They improve the policing so as to stop unnecessary protests, unnecessary crime rates. They improve their intelligence within the country so as to improve the crime rates to a significant level, so as to improve detecting the terrorism before the time, before the blast happens, such as 9/11. And there are thousands of such examples. Those countries which are great, or capable to improve their economy, or capable to improve their industrial base, are capable to provide employment, are capable to provide policies for proper population, for proper food, for proper healthcare, for proper food safety. So there are thousands of things which a great nation can do rather than going for intervention into a foreign country. So I hope so, if you are the resident of a certain country, if you are playing your role, if you will play your role in the future, always remember that you need to focus on your internal affairs more than going toward the external affairs. Take care, everybody, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Don't forget to subscribe my channel.